Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hamdan Shakirin bin Mat Amir. Welcome to my presentation project Sarjana Muda. My title project is Development of Visual Component Technology based CNC System for ISO 6983 Data Interface Model. In the introduction, they have some of the important points available, which is background, problem statement, objective, and scope research. Background. The computer numerical control machines are based on a method that employs mini-computer to create, interpret, and execute sequential control. Second, most important component of CNC is controller, which made up of software and hardware. Third, the interpreter is the controller software component that convert the International Standard Organization data interface model instruction to hardware instruction. Fourth, a few of the major factors that contribute to CNC technology's economic viability: fast production speed, product uniformity, lower component deprivation, reduced replacement part cost, less operator interference, and ease of convoluted form machining. Fifth, CNC machine use the ISO 6983 data interface format, also known as G-code. Sixth, the CNC controller software module, also known as an interpreter for ISO 6983 data interface model, will be discussed in this study. Problem statement. First, the majority of significant contributors to the commercial viability of CNC technology are fast production speed, product uniformity, decreased features denial, least expensive equipment, a smaller amount of machinist intervention, and ease of machining convoluted form. Second, CNC machine tool systems that are supplied as a black box by control supplier, making it difficult for machine tool builder to quickly develop and implement new or customized control function. Third, workers might still press the wrong buttons, create incorrect orientation, and misplace piece on a jig. Operator mistake might contribute to machine accuracy issues. Research objectives are to achieve through the project and provide direction to the study. First, to develop a 3-axis soft CNC motion control system for a 3-axis milling machine incorporating visual components to execute ISO 6983. Second, to integrate development system using a 3-axis CNC milling machine to implement the production method. Third, to test system experiments to be used to validate the production framework. Scope of research. First, only influence the motion of a 3-axis milling unit. Second, only a Windows-based problem has been exacerbated. Third, just operate with GRBL controller, which appear to be able the hardware using G-code. Chapter 2, Literature Review. Element of CNC machine. First, input device. Second, machine control unit. Third, machine tools. Fourth, driving system. Fifth, feedback system. And last, display unit. Type of CNC machine. CNC laser cutting machine, CNC lathe machine, CNC milling machine, 3D printer, CNC plasma cutting machine. This machine was designed in small concept of 3-axis CNC milling. Some of hardware was chosen: adapter, sliding bearing, nut holder, screw rod, power wire, spindle motor, power supply, stepper motor, and support system, which is Windows 10. Type of G-code in CNC machine. First, G-code, commonly known as RS274. Second, G-code commands are sent to a machine controller which instructs the motor on where to go, how quickly to move, and which path to take. Quick movement, for example, moves the tool as fast as feasible between cuts. Accurate fit in a straight line or an arc. A sequence of control fit motion that result in a hole bearing board, a component getting cut in road to a specified dimension, or a profile being instructed toward the edge of a workpiece. Configure tool data include offset. Change the coordinate system. ISO 6983 Data Interface Model. This section of ISO 6983 helps in the coordination of device design in order to reduce the number of program manuscripts needed, facilitate uniformity of programming techniques, and encourage interchangeability of input programs between numerically operated machines of the same classification by type, operation, features, scale, and accuracy. Second, serial interface connector include RS-232, RS-422, and RS-423. Third point, it is important to note that all of the capability required at the CNC data will also be implemented in the computer system if meaningful communication are to take place. The graphic shows where the GRBL fits into the big scope of a CNC machine's operation. First, G-code must be done by user, then send it to Arduino. It is a firmware that must be installed or uploaded to the Arduino in order for it to operate the CNC machine's stepper motor. To put it another way, the GRBL firmware job is to transform G-code into motor function. GRBL software for Arduino. First point, GRBL is free open source software that was created as motion control for an Arduino microcontroller board, allowing an Arduino to be used to operate CNC machine. Second, the GRBL controller is software program to send G-code to CNC machine such as 3D milling machine. Third, the Arduino Uno is a microcontroller board that utilizes the ATmega 328 microprocessor. And the last one, G-code interpreter code written in C is flashed into the microcontroller board. In this project, LabVIEW are chosen as visual component. First, Laboratory Visual Instrument Engineering Workbench, which is LabVIEW by National Instrument, is widely used as a control software development tool in both academic and industrial. LabVIEW is a programming environment that features data flow-based VPL called Zero, designed to facilitate development of data acquisition, analysis, display, and control application. Third point, software is divided into two parts by LabVIEW, a block diagram, as well as a user interface, which during LabVIEW is called the front panel. Chapter 3, Methodology. Flowchart. The project starts with an initial inquiry and background study on existing research to fill the research gap, establish the aim, importance of the study, and addition to the body of knowledge. The scope of the study is to focus on the CNC motion control system for a 3-axis milling machine that incorporates visual components in order to complete ISO 6983 for this project. The knowledge acquisition on the CNC system for ISO 6983 data model interface and other relevant information is gathered from published journals, conference papers, theses, books, and white paper. Hardware flow system and specification. First, the Arduino Uno microcontroller core platform serves as the foundation for this project. Its connecting to computers, drivers, and stepper motor is also straightforward. Second, this study will look into a CNC machine's ability to produce its components. Third, the stepper motors are powered and controlled by a driver. These stepper motors are connected to servo motor lines on the X, Y, and Z axis. The last one, the G code is connected to the Arduino microcontroller, which serializes the code to a USB converter. Additionally, this code is delivered to the three motors using simple driver, who translate the code and move the three motors as ordered. Software configuration. Visual component technology is used to generate the entire software. The connectivity component is in charge of establishing a USB connection between the computer and the microcontroller. First point, this hardware can interface with a variety of firmware, including GRBL, Mac3, and Merlin. It is made up of both firmware and unit modules that allow users to choose between a connected USB port, microcontroller firmware, and operational units. Second, the Jukes module is in charge of manually driving the machine axis motor with a set of federate and step side value. The location module directs the machine movement to exact coordinates. Third, the entire G-code component program may be run via the start machining module. Fourth, the machine is returned to its original place via the home module. Fifth, the reset zero module resets the machine zero position, whereas the return to zero module restores it. Experimental setup. First, this experiment is to run the program while cutting the workpiece on a selected design by using CAD or CAM system developed interpreter and mini CNC milling machine. Second, following the production of ISO 6983 codes, the following steps should be to enter the code into the constructed interpreters. Third, after finished configuring everything, run the code and save the result file in TX form. And the last one, the interpreted code is then passed to the machine where operations are carried out. These are the pictures of steps on doing the experiment. Chapter 4, Result and Discussion. These are the parameter 1. The first design is using a 4 mm diameter. The first design has been successfully done and the process is run by a mini CNC milling machine. Before the CNC process is run, the process of generating the G code has been made. First, from figure 1, it shows that selected tool for this design. When using this tool, it already set for spindle speed, cutting feed rate, and so on. According to figure 2, these are the lists for parameter 1, where the tool orientation was started. Selection, which means that the origin position for x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis at the stop. Third, figure 3 shows coding tool parameters for first design. These are the coding where D represents for diameter 4 mm and Z minimum is cutting depth for tool to go in Z axis only. Fourth, figure 4 shows the result for first design. These are the parameter 2. The second design was using a 6 mm diameter tool with a flat end mill. From the design, This tool diameter is relevant to use because the cutting depth is not too big. It is just a medium size for this machine and can cut it a short time. These are the parameter tree. The third design was a mechanical part where used an 8 mm diameter tool. This design has a 10 mm diameter where it needs to fit into tool diameter to cut all the way through. Conclusion and recommendation for Chapter 5. Networks and open architecture CNC systems are becoming popular. To be highly efficient and compatible, the CNC system communication platform must be very effective and adaptable. The main objective of this project had been accomplished when the system was successfully integrated development system using a 3-axis CNC milling machine to implement the production method. Furthermore, in this work, a software system for CNC controllers was developed. This module is capable to translating ISO 6983 data interface model code according to the machine internal structure. Second, this program simplifies user life by extracting entire data from low-level and high-level code and displaying it in an easy-to-understand format on a graphical user interface. Third, it helps the user comprehend the content of the input file and it also allows for quick data update as needed. Fourth, this project can improve the quality of the machine, the need to reduce human errors, reduce wastage, and maintain high quality and precision are some intrinsic properties driving the potential volume for CNC milling machines. And the last one, in future of this project will be implemented on 3D printing and laser cutting. In addition, the software will be modified to enable new capabilities such as automated and precise tool path creation, response monitoring, and status check graphic user interface improvement. Thank you.